Stunned silence following Damon's declaration. The magnitude of his commitment, $30 billion, was not just a statement of wealth, but a challenge to the existing order.
Gabriella, aren't you embarrassed enough? Well, now you're embarrassed by him here. I'm afraid you will be banned from joining this party in the future.
What are you doing, Damon?
Meanwhile, Damon stood resolute, his gaze fixed on Theodore, who was struggling to maintain his composure. The challenge had clearly rattled Theodore, his usual air of untouchable grace faltering under the weight of Damon's pledge. As the situation intensified, Gabriella's instinct was to flee the escalating pressure, her hand gripping Damon's arm tightly. But escape was not an option. The path was blocked, the atmosphere charged with expectation and disbelief.
Damon, let's go. What are you talking about? Hurry up, let's leave.
Leave? Do you think you can still leave?
Relax, Gabriella. There's no need to leave. We haven't done anything wrong.
From her seat in the VIP section, Naomi was having mixed feelings. She thought that Damon did this because Theodore suddenly got too close to her. For a moment, Naomi didn't know what to do.
Miss, are you tempted? $30 billion just to impress you? Mr. Hemsworth is really romantic. I want to know which woman wouldn't fall in love with him.
You're talking bullshit, Lola. Get out of my way. Don't talk to me. Where is the romance in it? $30 billion. Do you think he can leave here without delivering on that bluff of a pledge?
I think it's possible. There are a lot of rich and powerful men in Andover Province, but there are not many men who are as clever as Damon. Remember, I have years of experience working with wealthy people. My instincts for character and intent when it comes to them are top-notch.
Since you're so decidedly on his side, why don't I marry you to him?
Ouch! Careful, Naomi. Maybe I'd accept. Deny it all you want, but I can feel how fast your heart is beating from here.
The ballroom, usually a stage for predictable philanthropic gestures, now bore witness to a riveting showdown. Theodore Hamilton, a scion of power, faced off against Damon, who, against all odds, had seized the narrative.
Damon, are you sure you want to donate money?
Of course.
You have $30 billion?
Of course. I thought you needed $15 billion. I will donate all of it. Or does a huge organization like the Agape charity not dare to accept my money? A little intimidated by the gesture, perhaps.
Did you really bring $30 billion?
How rich is he?
Theodore, caught in a dilemma, knew that rejecting Damon's offer would raise questions about the charity's willingness and capability to handle such a donation, potentially tarnishing its reputation. The atmosphere at the gala, already electric from Damon's pledge, reached a fever pitch as he and Thomas approached the stage. Ariel's mixed emotions fluttered between admiration and envy, her mind reeling at the sudden shift in social hierarchies.
My God, when did such a person appear in Andover Province? So rich and low-key? Damn. Why is it Gabriella and not me? That should have been me.
Give them the money.
Even for me, this is a first. 30 billion. All at once.
Well, now that I've donated the complete amount, you don't need to raise money anymore. And there's no need for the charity party tonight, am I right?
Theodore, visibly shaken and caught off guard by Damon's frontal assault on his spotlight, struggled to maintain composure. His night, planned to showcase his philanthropic leadership and reconnect with the community, was slipping away.
Of course, of course.
Looks like being classmates with Damon isn't so embarrassing after all.
Well, I'll be damned, he's so rich.
Yeah, even the Hamilton family has to bow their heads. Not even they could stand up to that.
That's right. Compared with him, we seem to be a bunch of rubbish.
Theodore, clenching his jaw to contain his anger, forced a gracious smile as he addressed Damon, his voice betraying the strain of the moment.
Thank you, Mr. Hemsworth. Please, Damon, you must stay tonight.
It's all right, I'll go back first. It's not much money. If you need anything else in the future, don't hesitate to come to me.
Underneath the stage, Joyce stood speechless, her mind reeling from the rapid unfolding of events. The realization that Damon had not only utilized her $3 billion but augmented it tenfold into a monumental donation left her stunned.
My money was gone just like that?
As Theodore escorted Damon out, the chatter of the crowd followed them. Theodore, grappling with the blow to his prestige, sought a private word with Damon outside the spotlight of the gala.
Damon, I didn't figure this out. Did you spend $30 billion just to deal with me and steal my limelight?
I don't know about the others, but I know that $30 billion is not a small amount for you.
Or do you want to steal the connections of the Agape charity? You think too much. The Agape charity is not only a charity group, but also has the support of the Hamilton family. You can't afford to mess with them. You can't be compared with them either.
The calm after Damon's seismic donation was deceptive, the stillness before another storm. His mind was at work, analyzing every move in the high-stakes game he had plunged into.
So the 30 billion is just going to be a waste?
Don't worry. I will let him help wholeheartedly.
As the week passed, Damon remained outwardly passive, his actions subdued but his mind anything but quiet. At Birch Real Estate, his base of operations, the usual business buzz was tinted with an undercurrent of anticipation.
Damon, you are so cruel. Many people think that you are donating money, but they didn't expect that you are actually destroying the Hamilton family.
This information is enough to destroy the entire Hamilton family.
The document contained damning revelations, meticulously gathered and devastating in implication. Damon's move against the Hamiltons was not merely financial, but deeply strategic, aiming to dismantle their influence from the roots.
Damon, can you come to Sullivan's house? My grandfather just returned, but was detained at customs.
What?
Are top-notch.
As Damon arrived at the Sullivan residence, the tension was palpable. Naomi greeted him at the door, her expression fraught with worry. The quiet hum of urgent conversations filled the background.
Don't even know why Grandpa's coming back. You said Why is he so muddle-headed?
Did he say anything? Any reason given for his detention?
No, I didn't manage to contact my grandpa at all. Our family didn't know that he was going to return secretly. As you know, all of us are satisfied that Grandpa can live out his old age abroad content. But who would benefit from Grandpa being detained? And why now?
Naomi, your grandfather's return and this sudden detention, it might be more than just bad luck or poor timing. It could be a move against him or against the Sullivan family. Listen, I helped your grandfather once, and I'm not about to stand by now. We'll get to the bottom of this. I'll make some calls. I'll see what I can find out.
Thank you, Damon. I don't know what we'd do without you.
Just stay out, you hear me? I'm on my way.
As Damon prepared to dive deeper into the mystery of Ferdinand's return and detention, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was merely a precursor to a larger storm brewing on the horizon. His involvement was no longer just a matter of financial donations or corporate maneuvering, but a personal commitment to those he had come to care about.
Whoever did this knew exactly when Ferdinand would be returning, and they planned this with precision. This isn't a random act, it's targeted.
Damon, I am investigating. We were a little surprised about Ferdinand's predicament. Originally, I had sent someone to pick him up at the airport, but I didn't expect that the person who would take Ferdinand away would be on the same plane as him. This shows that they are well prepared. This was premeditated. You know that Ferdinand had transferred the flight 3 times in order to come back, and every single time, the other party was with him. We have to conclude that they had been eyeing Ferdinand for quite a long time.
Do we know the other party? Who caught him?
I don't know yet. I'm looking into it. It'll take about 2 or 3 hours. Catching Ferdinand is such a big deal. We're not dealing with amateurs, and I have to be careful because I might get blocked.
Okay, stay on top of the investigations while I go see the Sullivan family. Let me know the moment you get anything.
The streets blurred past as Damon drove towards the Sullivan residence, his mind racing as fast as his car. Each minute felt crucial, a ticking clock counting down in a high-stakes game he had been unwillingly drawn into. At Naomi's house in Andover Province, Naomi anxiously paced back and forth, still dressed in her office outfit. Walking into the scene, Damon thought she looked very sexy even in such a state. Lola, her assistant, took the liberty of announcing his presence.
Miss, your husband is here.
I've told you, he's not my husband. Stop calling him that.
But the way you wait for him looks like a woman who's waiting for her husband. Isn't it true?
Lola, just tell me if you want to die. At this point, I'm happy to oblige your death wish.
Ah, my bum.
She really may be attracted to women after all. That slap was something. What's going on?
Naomi's grandfather, Ferdinand, had an important part to play in Damon's plan. He couldn't let anything happen to Ferdinand at such a crucial moment. His brain was a wirework of activities as he pondered on the situation at hand, pulled out of his reverie only by Naomi's confused voice.
I can't find anything. The military took him away and that's all we know. Now the Sullivan family is all very worried and none of us has any idea what to do. Not the slightest clue, Damon. The last time my grandfather went abroad was considered as an escape attempt from the country. And now this just complicates things. What should I do?
Naomi had been under the care and influence of her grandfather since childhood, and she had a deep affection for him. At first, when Naomi knew that she was to be engaged to Damon, she made a big fuss about it. She wouldn't even take one look at Damon. But after finding out that it was her grandfather's decision, she did not resist so much anymore.
Oh God, please.
Don't worry. I'll ask someone for help. Trust me, I know someone who may be able to help us.
Who could he possibly ask? I've asked all the big shots and experts. Literally everyone with any kind of connection to this family. Even people from the past, and no one seems to know anything about it. The few who may even have a lead are too scared to say anything that could interfere with the military. God damn it!
Lost in thought, Naomi almost didn't hear her phone ring.
Hi, Mom.
Naomi, come back home. We're discussing your grandfather's matter. It is important that you're here for this.
Sure, Mom. I'll be on my way. Gotta rush and go over to the family house. Mom called. They're discussing Grandpa. You should come.
Of course, after you.
On arrival at the Sullivan family villa, a good number of the family members were already waiting outside, including Naomi's mother, who was pacing frantically, speaking in quick succession.
What should we do? When Ferdinand was here, the Sullivan family was so glorious. Yes, even if he was abroad, the whole family still did great, and he takes credit for that. He was our pillar of strength. Now that something has happened and he has been caught, no one gives a fuck anymore. Not even one of our family's so-called family friends are willing to say anything. Now what will happen to all the Sullivan family members? What will become of us without Ferdinand? Just now, I called an old friend of his, but even he wouldn't help us. It's just so sad how when a man gets to the top, all his friends and relations go there with him. This describes the Sullivan family perfectly. Ferdinand made sure to carry everyone along. But now that something has happened to Ferdinand, the people of the Sullivan family can do nothing but stare at each other and do nothing.
That's enough. Please take it easy. See, Naomi is here now. Naomi, you're finally here. When your grandpa was around, he doted on you the most. Now that he's in trouble, you have to think of a way to help him.
Of course, Auntie. That's why I'm here. Think, Naomi. What can you possibly do?
Come with me. Is that not Damon? Why did he come?
Why can't he come? It's a family affair, and he's part of the family, isn't he?
Of course he can't come. Naomi, didn't you hate him all the time? And rightly so. I personally investigated him, and I think your grandfather is indeed blind this time. Can you believe that the boy just graduated? There is a huge gap between people. People like him will not be of any help to the Sullivan family.
Well, I had no say in the matter. It was decided by Grandpa.
Well, I won't be discussing anything with him around. I'm not comfortable with him here. You have to send him away now.
Auntie, he's a guest.
Naomi's aunt frowned even deeper. She looked like she had something to say. Before she could say it out loud, a car had already arrived at the door. The black Rolls-Royce stopped at the door. It was the car that appeared outside the hospital of Hillwood a few days ago. The person who got out of the car was Theodore.
You may not get it now, but you'll know the reason soon. Theodore, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Everyone, here comes our savior.
Savior, she said. Their savior was there? Everyone looked at Theodore. There was no one who could not recognize him. Theodore's presence brought a murmur of anticipation into the family gathering.
Ooh, it's Mr. Hamilton of the Hamilton family.
What else could it be? Theodore Hamilton in the flesh? Incredible.
I understand. It's because of Naomi's charm. What a pity. If it weren't for her grandfather's poor taste, how could Naomi not be married yet? Although Damon is good compared to Mr. Hamilton, Damon is still not good enough.
Oblivious to the events of the Agape charity, Naomi's relatives chartered on. Of course, if Ferdinand had been here, the Agape charity would naturally invite the Sullivan family. Now that Ferdinand was not here, Naomi was the only person who had been to the charity party so far. Naomi had never liked to tell tales, so the Sullivan family didn't know about Damon's donation at the charity party. Even if they knew it, they would definitely think that Damon was stupid and he had wasted his money. As soon as Theodore entered the door, he also saw Damon.
Great, Damon is here.
Mr. Hamilton, please come in. We're honored to have you in our home.
The people of the Sullivan family were polite. Except for Naomi's mother, the others were very different when they treated Damon and Theodore. They greeted Theodore from a distance, but pretended not to see Damon when he came. Theodore did not enter. Instead, he stopped at the door, staring straight at Damon.
It's okay, I'm not going in. It's just a small matter. Naomi is my junior colleague, and we are in the same industry at the same time. It's normal for me to help her, no big deal.
Mr. Hamilton, thank you very much. I don't even have the words to appreciate you.
Oh, it's nothing. You don't have to thank me. However, I have one thing to say. Some people are not suitable to appear in your family.
Who is it? Who are you talking about?
Who else can it be? Don't you want to know who was behind the arrest of Naomi's grandfather, Ferdinand?
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great content. Click the notification bell so you never miss an update.